of the 1992 World Series.
2-2 the score in the Toronto top of the 11th.
The runners go on the 3-2 to Winfield. Down the line, a base hit.
White scores. Alomar scores on a Dave Winfield two-base hit.
And a 4-2 Toronto lead. Mike Timlin will be the new pitcher.
What pressure on this young man.
Now he's on to save the biggest win in Toronto Blue Jay history.
The tying run is 90 feet away. Pitch on the way, and there's a bunted ball. First base side, Timlin to Carter, and the Blue Jays win it.
For the first time in history, the World Championship banner will fly north of the border. Baseball's best in 1992.
The most valuable player, catcher Pat Borders, a team that can't give it to every player. There's so many players that could easily get it that it's a shame one person can get it.
Tito, congratulations.
It's been a long, hard battle, and we did it.
Canada, let it all out. It's party time.
This weekend, the Blue Jays celebrate the victory in 1992. Can you believe it was 30 years ago? And so many of the stars you saw will be here tomorrow. Sportsnet presents Game 2, the one that made Ed Sprague a national hero, beginning at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Right afterward, watch the first World Series game played outside the United States. Blue Jays Central directly ahead of the Angels and Blue Jays. And then, after that game is over, it's Timlin to Carter, and the Blue Jays have won the World Series. We'll replay game number 6. Won't that be fun? All right. We will show you the entirety of the ceremony tomorrow, too, on Blue Jays Central. We get excited about that. For now, off we go to the guys from SN Bets.
Thank you, Jamie. I'm Anthony Bruno with Mike Mahorovich at the SN Bets Big Board presented by Bet365. Blue Jays fans are very excited to watch Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani this weekend. But, Mike, you know what else Blue Jays fans should be excited about?
I think you're going to tell me.
Yeah, the Angels are not very good at baseball. Toronto trying to hand them a 7th straight loss tonight.
And during that 6-game losing streak that they find themselves in, the Angels' production at the plate has dragged them. They've scored just 11 runs. They have a team average of .213. The Blue Jays are the total opposite. They've won 7 of 8, hitting .267, and come in today favorites at -180 with a win probability of 64%.
After getting swept by the Blue Jays, the Red Sox now face the Tampa Bay Rays, who have won 6 games in a row. But the good news for Boston, Michael Wacha is on the mound tonight. He's been incredible at home this season, posting a 1.14 ERA and holding opponents to a 5.03 OPS in over 39 innings at Fenway Park. So a great opportunity for the Red Sox to snap their losing streak.
The worst batting average in August doesn't belong to the Tigers, the Athletics, or the Pirates. It's the Milwaukee Brewers wearing that crown. They're hitting .199 this month. Their entire lineup, except for 2 players, are hitting .221 or worse. Cubs starter Justin Steele faced the Brewers just 5 days ago, and he only gave up 2 hits in 6 innings.
The Astros are the best team in the American League, and they're looking for a 5th straight win tonight, hosting the Baltimore Orioles. Houston is going up against Kyle Bradish, who's given up at least 1 home run in 13 of his 15 starts this season. He has a .625 ERA, and opponents have hammered him for an OPS over 900. The Astros lineup should be able to do some damage tonight.
And we got to look back to May for the last time the Jays saw the Angels, and it was a sweep back in May. Jays coming off that sweep with the Red Sox, so maybe some good fortune heading into the weekend. Jamie?
Gentlemen, here's the Blue Jays lineup, and there's not a left-hander in it. Lefty Reed Detmers goes for the Angels. So here's the lineup scribbled by John Schneider. Not surprisingly, George Springer, who must be seeing a beach ball when that pitch comes in, is leading things off, and Matt Chapman, defensive star in recent days, is manning the hot corner. Los Angeles lineup brought to you by Bet365. There's only 2 players in Major League history who have at least 10 pitching victories and 10 home runs in the same season. One of them's Babe Ruth, and the other's batting 3rd tonight for the Los Angeles Angels. Joe, if you thought last night was intense, imagine what we're about to see come September.
Well, it's interesting. You look at that lineup, Jamie, you see Ohtani, you see Trout, and you think this team should be making the playoffs every year. But it goes to show you in baseball, you need a deep roster, and the Angels can look right across the field to the Toronto Blue Jays and the way their lineup is constructed and the depth of quality in that Blue Jays lineup. The Blue Jays are in a little schedule place here where they're seeing a lot of teams under 500. Good time to pack on the wins, but it's also a good time to be cautiously optimistic. Last week, if you thought last week was a lot of fun, Blue Jays fans, what did Vladdy say about the trailer in the movie? I think the trailer's been going on. The movie's starting in the month of September. There is going to be a lot of Tampa Bay. There is going to be a lot of Baltimore. They even have a couple of games against the Phillies with Bryce Harper back, and they'll be vying for a playoff spot. September is going to be a month to remember, and we hope Vladdy's right about that movie as they enter into October.
Jordan Romano into the 10th inning here at Fenway Park.
Jordan Romano strikes out Kike Hernandez, and the Blue Jays win it 3-2.
Jordy just really clutch in the 10th. That was fun.
Running to the back, Chapman gets one, throw to first, in time, double play!
Playing at Fenway and, kind of where we are in the standings, every game's like huge.
I wonder if Romano talked his way back into this game for a second inning.
Yeah, I'm just saying, let's finish the job, keep competing, it's not done.
And the Blue Jays find a way to win this ball game.
And they got unbelievable pitching from Jordan Romano.
These last 2 nights, they were fun, exciting, dogfights. Just glad we came out on top.
If there's an arm in that bullpen that needed a little ice last night, it belongs to Jordan Romano. What a performance. He had this conversation with Hazel May.
Jamie, thank you very much. Boy, oh boy, Jordan Romano, what a performance there in Boston. Let's take you back to 9th inning, tied at 5, bases loaded, nobody out. You told reporters post-game that your mindset was, quote, letting go of the outcome. What does that mean?
You know what, in that situation, it doesn't look good, right? So honestly, there's 2 ways you can go about it. You can kind of give in there and just, almost give them the win. But I just said, you know what, no matter what happens, a homer, a single, it's I'm going to go down pitching my game. I'm going to compete until the last pitch. It's still not over. So that's just kind of what I went out there and did.
How different is that mentality from the Jordan Romano when he first was a closer?
Yeah, it's something that you learn over time. This game, it's if you don't pitch your game and you get caught up in the stats and the numbers, I think that's the worst way to go about it. So it's just kind of pitching your game, competing, and letting go of the outcome. Whatever happens, happens, but you just got to go out there and give it.
Multiple innings now. 4 in your career going into this season? That's what I heard. So do you know beforehand whether you're going to come out there again? Because I imagine that has to be challenging from a mental approach in between innings.
Yeah, definitely. In a game like that, there's a lot of adrenaline getting out of there with Chapman making that nice play. But yeah, that one, it was I needed to go back out there for the 2nd inning. I was just I felt it was a game that, it was a big game, and I just really wanted to be that guy, win or lose. I wanted that to be my game.
I know you love coming to the ballpark, but when you guys are in a wild card race, as tight as it is with the Mariners and the Rays, and I would say the Orioles and a handful of other teams that are mathematically not out of it, what is it like to be pitching in those big games where every pitch really matters?
Yeah, it's really stressful. You kind of wake up with a little more, I guess, maybe anxiety, but you learn to really love it. You learn to really appreciate it.
And what do you like about your team there at the end of August? What are you seeing from your offense? What are you seeing from the rotation? What are you seeing from your guys in the bullpen?
Yeah, you know what? I think the best thing is everyone's just fighting for each other. And I think you can see that when we play. It's if someone doesn't do a job, it's the next guy's there picking them up. We're all just rooting for each other. We want everyone to do well, and it's pretty amazing. I feel we've thrown the stats out the window. It's not a one-person thing anymore. It's it's a group, which is amazing to feel and see.
All right. It's great to see Jordan Romano have so much success. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Hazel.
All right, Jordan Romano, guys, let's send it back to you.
Hazel, thank you. George Springer hitting a robust .531 in the month of August. He has been something. This guy has had an incredible career, the best player of his generation, perhaps. Mike Trout and the Angels in town to take on Bo Bichette and the Blue Jays. You'll see it here on Sportsnet. Thank you for watching Blue Jays Central. The Blue Jays pulled off a victory with some flair last night in Boston. Following the sweep, they flew home and will start a series against the Los Angeles Angels tonight here on Sportsnet. Buck Martinez is back in the broadcast booth. He's upstairs with Dan Schulman.
Jamie, what a difference a week makes. The Blue Jays won the final game of the Baltimore series on the last homestand, and Buck, that really seemed to propel them through New York and Boston.
Yeah, you just really can't explain baseball. They go into two tough ballparks, Yankee Stadium and Fenway Park, and they win 6 out of 7. And how do you do that in those tough ballparks? You pitch. The starters set the tone with a terrific earned run average, and the bullpen has been great now since the middle of July. So when you pitch well, it allows your hitters to relax. Look what George Springer did on that road trip. Springer and Vladdy led the way, 6 RBIs apiece, but there were 12 of the 13 position players with RBIs on the 7-game trip.
Now, let's look ahead. The Blue Jays are back home, 2 teams on the homestand, then Pittsburgh to start the next road trip, 3 teams that are well out of contention.
Well, Dan, you mentioned that the Blue Jays, did not play well at home the last time they were here, and they can't take the Angels lightly. The Angels and the Cubs will be here. Then they go to Pittsburgh to play the Pirates, and you would think, well, this is going to be an easy 9 games. If you let down against any of these teams, you're going to lose. And right now, the way the wild card is setting up, you can't afford to lose any of these games.
Yeah, the Rays are winning, the Mariners are winning. The Orioles aren't that far behind the Blue Jays. So, Jamie, these games count as much as the ones the Blue Jays just played.
That they do. The first of 3. It's Guerrero Jr. up against the guy who he lost an MVP race to last year, Shohei Ohtani, and the Angels are in Toronto. We have the first pitch for you here on Sportsnet right after this.